What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. Yesterday, and things have been going really well. I haven't been making a lot of plays, but yesterday I made 4 plays and I only won one. It was not a good day, Rob Veno. Um, Pelicans was the only one that was a winner for me. I lost on the Suns, and maybe I was trying to be too smart with that because they just are terrible. Um, I lost with, I didn't take the Raptors. I didn't fall for that, but instead I fell for the under. So that's not good. And I forget the other one, but you guys get the point. Um, Lakers -5 was a loser. Not a good day. Vino, hopefully yesterday was better for you than it was for me.
Well, the good news is the play that I won, we left here for the chat. Milwaukee, Miami over the total. Really never in doubt in that one. They played a pretty high scoring game. But where I went wrong was I was not involved in the Laker game. I had total over. Obviously, didn't come close. 219, needed 231 to win that game. It was over 230. Um, and Golden State. The Golden State game, I had the total over, and they scored 137 points in the second half and didn't go over because the first half was that bad. 2 quarters, I think, in the first half, one by Memphis, one by Golden State, that didn't reach 20 points. So stayed under by a few. So it was not a productive day yesterday. Look to get back at it today. Have one play up already that I like, and I think I'll probably add one or two more here.
Yeah, I'm taking my time a little bit today. Got to get back on track here after that 1-3 yesterday. What is this here from the chat? It's saying is I was rolling with the Lake Show -5. Is Luca the answer or Braun? Defense wins championships. We have none. Well, I'll tell you the answer is definitely not 41-year-old LeBron James. I'll tell you that right now. Um, you know, if you are a numbers guy, the numbers show that the Lakers have been a lot better when Luca and Reeves are on the court and LeBron is not. Then when all three of them are on the court together. So I agree. Lakers don't have enough defense. You know, changes got to be made, and we're at the point in the season where not a whole lot can be done. Any thoughts from you, Vino?
Yeah, I'd agree with all of that. It just stands to reason. Like last night at the end of game, where I don't know if Luca was a Mav, he would have taken that 3 pointer the
Yeah,
first
what is
time.
he
Never
doing?
mind. Yeah, never mind. Getting open a second time after the defender flies by and still not pulling the trigger. I don't know if these guys still try to defer to LeBron when he's on the floor with them or what. I really don't know why, but I can see your point about Luca and Reeves together. Maybe a little more free flow without the thing in the back of your head, like we got to make sure LeBron gets his. I don't know, but I agree with everything. And Jackson Hayes, of course, the only real rim defense that they have here. So you're right. I mean, personnel changes, there was a time to make those. That time is come and gone. So they are what they are for the remainder of the season. And what they are probably is not a deep contender in the Western Conference, which seems to get a little tougher day by day.
Yeah, I didn't overlook the fact that their defense is not great. I guess I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't that for me, but I didn't expect the Magic to fight, especially all the way to the end in that spot. That was something I didn't expect to happen. Lakers got out early, had a double-digit lead early.
Yeah.
And then it's like, honestly, watching the game, it felt like the Lakers were. I don't know. I know they're not probably not worried about a point spread. Sometimes some people are, but to somebody who had somebody who had $440 on the Lakers, it looked like they were not trying to cover. They're actively not trying to cover the game. So we'll see where they go in the future. All right, let's get to today's action. Man, maybe I should let you have this one too. Like I
Yeah,
gave
we
you a
must
question.
have we must have more injury news here because this thing shot up over the course of the last 90 minutes. The last time I looked at this number.
What game are you talking about?
Oklahoma City.
Okay, let's get
Is
there.
that not where we're starting?
Let's get there. Um, yeah, it's not 8 anymore. So yeah, it keeps going up. I just made these. So
Yeah.
I literally just made it and it was 8. Now it's 10 and a half. And the total, I just made that. It was 219 and a half 10 minutes ago. We're looking at 220, 220 and a half. So yeah, let's see. What do we have going on? Just double check Twitter does show you a little faster, but I'll refresh here and see what we have going on. It has to be injuries. We do know OKC is playing on a back to back here. And yes, I'm assuming that these just popped up. Caruso's doubtful. Chet is doubtful. Hardenstein is out. SGA out. AJ and J Dub both out. I mean, that makes sense why the line has gone up. I mean, that maybe the OKC was looking at it like, we need to win one of these games at least. Like I'm looking at it standings wise. They're 45 and 14 after that win yesterday. The Pistons are 42 and 14. Like, for that number one spot, which I know they care about, they had to win at least one of these games on this back to back trip. So I feel like, really good effort yesterday. Maybe they're just punting here today, you know. Um, how do you see it?
Well, the one thing that I noticed from the absences that just came across is that Oklahoma City no longer has any rim protection. Chet and Hartenstein are both out, which means if you play Jalen Duren props early, you're probably really happy right now because he should have double-digit boards. I think Jalen Williams, from what I'm seeing here, listed as the starting center. OKC, it looks like a crew of guards and wings against the Pistons, who honestly, they have to be a little bit upset. Played San Antonio a couple of nights ago, and San Antonio took it to them, won by 11 on Detroit's home floor. I know Detroit is trying to test the waters to see exactly where they stand against these top powers in the West. You're not going to get a real good indication of that tonight since Oklahoma City is missing so many people. But that being said, I could see where Detroit wants to win the game and win it rather convincingly from a confidence standpoint. I'm not so sure I want to lay 10 and a half. That seems awfully tricky. But that said, there's still some available 219 and a halves out there. Maybe I'm better off just looking at Detroit's team total here. Let me just pull it up, Skee, because if they're going to have an easy path to the rim and OKC is punting on this second game, I'm looking at 115 and a half. For the Pistons to get to 116 here might not be that hard against a team off of a back-to-back. No rim protection. Basically going to play with guys who like to play with pace. So maybe Cade and company over their team total. I have to reassess this game the way I looked at it before.
I like the way you're looking at it. The only pushback I would give is if this game gets out of hand,
Yeah.
Some people could start heading to the bench and you get those other guys coming in. I would worry about that. Maybe you want to look at something first half, um, because they're still going to play hard the first half regardless if they're blowing them out. And they're going to keep their players in. But it definitely could be an over with less rim protection for OKC out there. I like that look. I marked that on my short list here. OKC over. All right. Next game, we are going to look at Warriors and Grizzlies. Opened up. I mean, I have a -1.5 for the Warriors here. Looks like 4 or 4.5. Total open 226.5. Looks like 227.5. For the Grizzlies, Kyle Anderson is questionable. Aldama, Clark, Coward, Edie, and John Moran are out. For the Warriors, Horford is probable. Melton is questionable. LJ Cryer out. Seth and Steph Curry, as well as Porzingis, out. Warriors did play yesterday, and I mean, I feel the same way. Like, what are the Warriors even doing being favorites? Like I said, that game versus the Nuggets was really just it was a really bad spot for the Nuggets, and the Warriors took advantage. Pelicans got them yesterday. Warriors have to travel here again, and they're laying floor. I mean, I get that the Grizzlies have a very long injury list. The Grizzlies just lost to the Kings. The Kings got off that what was it, 15-game losing streak. So maybe that's why they feel they have to make the Grizzlies an underdog here. But the Grizzlies didn't have Ty Jerome in that game, and he's a big part of the offense looking good. The games that I've been backing the Grizzlies, have a lot to do with him being on the court. I've even played his props, and I could look at his points assist prop again tonight. Even though they continue to raise it, he's hit 20 and a half every game but one. So Ty Jerome may be worth the look still. Grizzlies +4 seems appealing. Can you talk me off?
Pods had 15 rebounds last night. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Skee, I got to say, there's really no interior defense on either side here. Actually, that's good for Golden State because aside from post, they don't have guys that can defend the rim, and neither do the Grizzlies the way they're playing now with Omax at center. It's just a game where Golden State's probably going to do what they did last night. Second half was a little more successful, but they launched 45 more threes. They didn't shoot them well, though, so you could actually, in my world, you could call for a little bit of a bounce back shooting the three tonight against this defense. They only made 24.4% last night. Golden State did. Yet, as I said in the beginning, that game last night was good enough to score.
By the way, we're getting injury news and line moves right now.
Oh, you got it?
Draymond, questionable. Melton out. Fours disappearing. If you would like a 4, you need to take it right now. And
stop the show.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're talking me off here, Vino, I'm thinking 4 is too much here.
I'm just going on and on about the total, not the side.
Okay. I mean, feel free. I mean, I'm opening up my wallet right now, seeing if I can catch a 4. I just want to let you know.
I'll see if I can extend it for you here.
Catch that 4. I think they're disappearing too fast here. Oh, man. Did I miss it? Yeah. I mean, maybe I shouldn't rush. Maybe I should just think about it more. But, man, Grizzlies +4 was on my list. I hate that I missed the number. You can still get 3.5. I mean, if I like 4, I like 3.5. All right. I don't want to hang up on this game, and I don't want to rush. But Grizzlies is already on my list. Why do the Grizzlies not cover the game tonight?
Now, especially.
I don't care about Draymond being questionable. I mean, I would prefer Draymond was in, honestly. But Melton, I think, is a big deal. All right, I'm going to keep going. We'll see. I'm not going to rush because I feel like a lot of times when I rush, I mean, when we open the wallet on the show, we usually have some success. But I feel like I'm rushing it, even though it was on my short list. So I'll move on to Spurs and Raptors. I'm sorry, Vino. Did you finish with the total?
Well, I was going to head toward the over in that game, but the Anthony Melton had 28 points last night. It was a big deal.
See?
He was at the free throw line more than anybody, 11 trips to the free throw line. So it kind of backs me off of a total play here, even though I know it's kind of a game with zero defense on either side and a lot of up and down. You probably get the opportunities here. Question will be, can you make enough shots? Both sides included here. And without the Anthony Melton, who led the team, taking 21 shots last night, kind of tough. I guess that moves Pods back into the starting lineup.
Yeah, but I'm going to spend too much time if I keep thinking about this game. So I'm going to let it go right now, Vino. And I'll return after the show. I need a win. I need a for sure win today. I didn't like yesterday at all. Spurs and Raptors opened up 6, looks like 7.5. Total went from 228.5 to 229.5. This is the Raptors on that back-to-back, right? Everybody, it was a good spot for the Raptors yesterday. A lot of people I thought didn't work out. Now they got to play Spurs, who have the rest advantage, who've been looking good. I mean, what if I told you this, Vino? I'm just gonna shoot this query to you and see what you think about it. It's basically the spot, and it only goes back to, so it's the last 3 seasons, 2023. We're looking at non-conference rested road favorites versus unrested opponents that lost their last game as a home favorite. I'm sorry, my bad. Let me say this again. Non-conference rested road favorites. Right here. Why am I explaining this? Like we don't have the thing to put it up on the screen. I guess my brain is not working here. So great. Let me put this on the screen. Can you see that now, Vino?
Not yet. Oh, here it comes. There we go.
So yeah, as you can see, non-conference rested road favorites versus an unrested opponent that lost their last game as a home favorite. They are 0-11 ATS. So yes, it's an advantageous spot for rest wise, but after their opponent just dropped a game they were expected to win, it says that they usually show up with better effort in that next game. So I would ask you what you think about this query. Would you trust the Raptors to keep this one respectable?
Well, I'd have to have Scotty Barnes in the game, and I don't know that he's going to be there. Pirtle will play. Barnes got hurt last night. I see him as questionable. I would want him in this game. The other side is 8-1 against the number last 9 games. I mean, they're going so good right now. San Antonio is. Obviously, the rest, like you said, affects it. I don't know. You know, it's nice to have Pirtle back, but nobody handles Wemby anyway. So I don't know. I just watched the way that San Antonio dismantled Detroit on Monday night, and it's hard for me to believe that they couldn't do the same thing to Toronto, who's a little less talented on the defensive end, especially if Barnes doesn't go. I mean, Barnes' contributions, they're great offensively, but he's a superior defender as well. So I don't know. The query obviously would make me think twice, but if they don't have Scotty Barnes, I don't know that I would hesitate to play San Antonio in the advantageous rest spot here. They just look like they're on a sheer mission. You had the standings before, Skee. In the West, I'm trying to look it up right now. In the West, how many games ahead is OKC? San Antonio might be on a quest to catch them and be the number 1 seed.
I could agree with that. And also I think San Antonio wants to stay in front of Houston. I mean, they are ahead of them by a good point, but you have the Spurs 41-16, OKC 45-14, so 3 games back
It's not a
is what
lot.
it's saying here.
They
But they can
close
win
it to 2.
and not cover.
That's true. That's true. That's the business we're in. I should have thought of that first. And we don't want a money line 7.5-point favorites either.
Yeah, and the Spurs do. Hold on, let me verify. The Spurs do play tomorrow. It's only versus the Nets, though. But potentially, no, I don't think you save anything for the Nets. But I don't know. I want to continue to try to make a case for Toronto throughout the day. We'll see if I can actually get there. Mark says, "Man, Toronto is scrappy. Maybe Spurs first quarter, first half. No bet yet." You know, somebody, my guy Noops. I think he does those Spurs first quarters as well, so that does stand out. Appreciate you guys in the comment section. Next game, we're going Cavs and Bucks. Opened up -9, down to 8.5. Total went down as well from 228.5 to 227.5. This is the Bucks on a back-to-back. They got that over for you yesterday, Vino. You going to it again?
Yeah, I've been on them blindly. Now it's a back-to-back for Cleveland as well. Played really good against the Knicks last night. Cleveland held New York to 90 some odd points last night. And I try to think in my head, Skee, did they hold them to 94 points because they focused in and played really good defense? Or in watching that game, it seemed to me more like New York just couldn't make a shot for an extended time. It's not like Cleveland was all up on them as far as defending them is concerned. It's like the Knicks had a lot of open looks that they missed. So for Cleveland here, I could see a defensive letdown for sure, which Milwaukee probably can take advantage of. Milwaukee's no great shakes defensively. We know that, which means Cleveland should score more than the 109 last night. That type of thinking process would lead me to over. But I do worry a little bit about the twin back-to-backs. And there's got to be a little bit of fatigue on each side here. So I could somewhat understand people betting this down to 227, but like I told you yesterday, I'm kind of in the market now to be playing these Milwaukee games over just because they seem to be trending as a team that can score but cannot defend, and they don't get priced the way like say Utah, always close to 240, right? Milwaukee's still in these 220s where we can take advantage until they run a few more overs off on the schedule. And then the odds makers, it just tricky call for me. I would lean over. Sidewise, I don't know if Cleveland just was ready for the Knicks and really doesn't care here. I could see that. Doc Rivers, though, I read a quote this morning,
Who?
extremely happy about it. He's very happy. We're 7-2 right now, and he was talking about finally we're breaking through and extending good streaks. So I don't know. That could be a red flag. That could be a go sign. That could be a lot of things. But I'm just interested in Milwaukee from a totals perspective, so I don't worry too much about him winning games. Just score your points, give up your points, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, I guess Veno 7-2 is good enough for Veno to give him back his nickname, I guess. But
yeah, I blew it, didn't I? I totally blew it. I guess we should have like a fine jar for this show where you have to throw in $5.
His mama named him Glenn. I'm calling him Glenn. And I don't
Yeah.
know about Doc. But
I've
you
been
know, the
super
one thing
well.
I'll say about this total is I don't think you run to the window to bet this over. And the reason for me saying that is because both teams are on the second of a back to back, you wait and just make sure, if the people you want in the game are not ruled out, because there absolutely could be late ruled outs with both teams on the back to back. Mark says, "Oh, Glenn knows best." All
Yeah, he does.
right, Kings and Rockets opened up 14 and a half. Looks like still 14, 13 and a half, actually. 221 and a half was the opener, and it hasn't really moved too much from there. Let's get to some injuries for this Rockets team. Tate and Thompson both out. We have Carter questionable, Cardwell out for the Sacramento team. Like we mentioned, Sac did get off the snide, right? Got that win versus the Grizzlies. Grizzlies were missing a bunch of people. It was a great spot for them. A great spot for them to get off that losing streak. Now they face a Rockets team who, I mean, we know they could absolutely blow them out if they want to. And they very well could have want to. I mean, they've lost to this Kings team. As bad as they are, they've lost to them twice this season. I'm not going to say that the Kings have the Rockets number, but what I will say is maybe the Rockets were not focused in those games. Maybe they were bad spots. I think the Kings will have their attention because of that tonight. The one thing I would worry about is laying the big number on the front of a back to back. They do play the Magic tomorrow. I would cut this in half and play first half Rockets. That's kind of the way I'm looking at this one here, Bino. How do you see it?
No, I'm in Thompson. So Reed Shepard takes over at point guard, which Reed Shepard can score. We know that. He's probably not the rebounder from the guard position that Thompson is, but certainly he can score. And the Rockets have enough rebounding anyway. But this quote, Skee, I got to do this one. I got to read this one. This comes from Doug Christie after they beat the absolute depleted Memphis Grizzlies getting on the plane. He says, two things that travel in the NBA are defense and rebounding. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you coach the Kings. They don't play any defense. And they don't, what are you even talking about? Because you beat the Grizzlies second unit? Oh, my God. I don't know. You thought Glenn was a little excited because he's 7-2. Doug Christie's really excited about traveling with defense and rebounding. They're not going to out-rebound Houston. No way in heck. If Houston does have a focus, like a double revenge focus, then they're not going to be as good defensively or offensively either. So to me, I would try to look at Houston's team total. You said cut the side in half. I don't know. I hate to cut totals in half simply because I never know which half is going to be the scoring half. But the problem with that is Again, like you mentioned in the opening game, if you're blowing a team out in the fourth and people come out of the game and the breaks go on, then you really don't want full game either. So I think you could look at the first half from either perspective. I'll get you the total on that first half team total. Houston 61 and a half, need to get to 62. Certainly doable against the Kings defense. I probably won't play Skee simply because Houston has that back-to-back game tomorrow, probably a more important game. And maybe they'll just try and coast here. But I tell you what, I do like Reed Shepherd in the game from an offensive standpoint. If I'm looking for points, Reed Shepherd's a guy that can get to the rim and shoot. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Next game and last game, Celtics and Nuggets opened up -4.5 for the Nuggets, down to 4. We'll call it 4 as a consensus. Total went up from 227.5. We're looking at 228.5 as a consensus over there. Injury report. You have Jaylen Brown questionable. He did miss yesterday. I thought that would mean he's playing today. For Denver, you have Murray and Strother both probable. Still no Gordon, no Pickett, and no Watson. Pretty sure the Nuggets did not play yesterday. So, yeah, they're at home. They have the rest advantage. They've been off for what, 2 days? Meanwhile, this is the Celtics, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth straight road game and second of a back-to-back. I mean, they weren't challenged too much by the Suns last night. You do still have to travel another state over, though, and go play again the next night. So, advantageous spot for the Nuggets after the Nuggets, in a bad spot, lost outright to the Warriors, had 2 days off to think about it, get right, work on whatever they need to work on. I would think that this is a Nuggets spot. What do you think, Vino?
I think really quick here, and this is why you guys watch the show. While you were talking, Skee, that guy was screaming alert, alert, alert at me. So I had to turn him down.
Oh,
3
I
straight
see it.
alerts because Cleveland just ruled out Mitchell, ruled out Mobley, and there was one more in there that's now questionable.
We
It's
just
probably
talked
the
about
other
that too.
Harden. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why he watched the show, because wouldn't rush to the window with this total because guys could get ruled out. And here it came. My alert specialist let me know that we have 3 guys now probably not playing, 3 starters likely not playing. I think James Harden was the questionable one, but the other 2, Mitchell and Mobley, not going to play. You'll probably see a decline in that total. I kind of like this game. At first, I wanted to just play the Nuggets team total because of the rest situation of the Celtics' potential fatigue situation here. They've been on the road quite a while. 116.5. We know where the Nuggets are concerned. 116.5 is not all that hard. Boston's a really good defensive team, and they've been on a good defensive roll. But then I said to myself, or I'm thinking to myself when I'm handicapping this game, do you really want to keep Boston out of the loop offensively? Because Denver they just don't care to play a lick of defense at this point in time. But you'd really want to have Jaylen Brown in there. I know Pritchard and company can light it up, especially against a Denver defense. So that's kind of where I'm torn here. I think Denver's the right side. I think the total is an over. Which capacity I play it at, I'm not sure as of yet, but I don't see a lot of reason to like the Boston Celtics here other than their possible contribution to the total in this game. And last night's game, really low scoring against Phoenix. Phoenix is dragging all these games way down. They just played like a 91-77 against Portland prior to that. And we talked about the head coach saying that they just struggle offensively in stretches. So, it'll be a different test for Boston tonight in altitude against an offense that doesn't struggle to score. I may get to Nuggets team total here over 116.5 is my top play. I just feel like that's an easy number for them to come by nowadays.
Fair. Very, very fair. All right. That looks like that's the end of the card here, Mr. Vino. So, before we move it over to best bets, let's put some stuff up on the screen. We'll go with good old 10 days of all access for the price of 7. You'll save $69 if you want to get involved with this deal. Good for either Rob Veno or myself. And with that said, Vino, I'm going to pass it to you. I'll ask you if there's anything else that you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, no worries.
The 10 for 7 is really a nice promotion. That's been pretty good. The only thing I'll promote, Ski, is the college hoop show, Full Court Press. Myself and Adam Trigger, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. You can catch us 5 days a week going over college games. We do usually one of the top games of the night that's scripted, and then the rest is all open to the chat. Whatever game you want to talk about is what we talk about over the 60 minutes. And you can catch us again on Saturday with Kelly Stewart. Kelly in Vegas on Wager Talk Last Call. Here tonight, Ski, I hate when I do this, but I'm not going to leave a best bet simply because I don't have anything in my pocket yet. Last night I did have the one game, Milwaukee, Miami, that was released to clients and that I had bet, so I left it. But here, you could tell where I'm leaning with a couple of these games, but I just haven't gotten to the window yet with anything. And we may have to take our time here and just see if there's anything else that goes on injury-wise. NBA is always tricky where that's concerned.
Yeah, it is. It is a day where I'd rather wait for sure. And for that reason, I'm the same as you. I haven't placed a bet yet today. Doesn't mean I'm definitely going to place a bet, but I'm just trying to make sure it's the right one here today. So can't leave the best bet for the show. But we did break down the games. Like Vino said, which ways both of us are looking, leaning, however you want to call it. So yeah, we'll end the show on that note. Vino, it's always great breaking down the games with you. I appreciate you taking the time to do so. Chat, we appreciate you guys pulling up and supporting the show. We appreciate the information you bring and just the good vibes in general. So best of luck to everybody out there. We'll be back again tomorrow. Peace.